Welcome back. Didn't know if I was going to do it, but the last video went quite well, so let's have another look at this E30. Right, quickly, since the last video ended, what have I been up to? I mean, it's only been a couple of days, to be honest, but I cut this piece up and now it has a new section there at the back of the back wheel. There's a little hole on the sill on the other side which also needed repairing, which is done now. I've taken the seats out and I have the cage fitting quite a lot better. It's currently sat on 40mm blocks down there, so I need to get some metal to make some feet for it properly, and then worry about the building some boxes at the back afterwards. Check the wire into the clocks. That was a problem before. The rev counter didn't work. See, the temperature gauge did, but I had no rev counter, no service indicator lights. So I've had the clocks apart. Speed up now. So yeah, I've taken the circuit board out of the clocks. Apparently it's a common problem that these batteries fail after, I don't know, I think they're supposed to last 20 years or something. So I desoldered those last week. And hopefully have some new ones in here. If I can do this one-handed. Oh, come on. Yeah, so I have some new ones there, which I'm about to unpack and quickly solder in and see if I've got a rev counter. It'd be nice if I did. Well, it turns out to fit these eBay special batteries, you need the help of, well, a file would have probably done it, but I used a grinder. Because the spacing on these two pins isn't quite right, so you have to just shave them down a bit to wedge them through the circuit board. But I'll quickly solder these on now and we'll call this done and hope that I've got a rev counter after this. Don't zoom in too much, Rich. I'll get my soldering technique told that I'm wrong.
At least you're not wearing gloves.
Well, that's not even soldering. That's rubbish. Obviously, point a camera at it. That looks technically bad.
You'll do the job.
Oh, have I taken the pad off that one? Oh, I might have ruined it. Brilliant. The joys of circuit boards. Well, there we go. Don't have much optimism of this working now, but let's put it all back together and see. Well, that's it plugged back in. Well, let's see if I can wedge this so you can see. Let's see if we've got anything more than we had before. Come on, stupid phone, focus. What we got? Oh, we've got a service indicator which we didn't have before. Let's see if that rev counter twitches. Right, next issue. Man of my vintage is not going to be driving around with that on their car. Horrific. So this is going off now in the post. And it'll come back with the crackle mat removed. Right, we'll wait for the ECU to come back. Could be today, could be, who knows. But next thing to do is try and make the thing a bit quieter. A bit quiet is an understatement. As I said before, the exhaust is nicely made, you know, all the joints are TIG welded and stuff. It's just way too loud. I have got a new box there from JetX and the remains of my original Mustang exhaust, so I'm going to try and get this box and that box in and hope that that quietens it down enough to at least pass a noise test and please my old man ears. Right, finally getting somewhere. It's the morning now. Last night got quite choppy on the old exhaust. There's some of it, there's some of that, there's some over there, keeping grinding away from that. But got the front bit done. I'm going for the full 3 boxes. Let's not have any question, because the last thing you want to do is turn up at a track day and be told your car's too loud and have that hassle. And I just don't care. I just want it quiet and nice. So we'll carry on with that today and hopefully have the exhaust pretty much finished tonight. Oh, there we go. Good morning. Back box has its mounts put on. All I need to do now is drill the mounts into the boot floor, just using E46 style mounts. They seem pretty sturdy and hold things quite well. I had to get a little bit choppy with this box because ground clearance is pretty tight in the middle, so just gave it a little bit of a haircut. Now hopefully I've got all the room in the world, so I shall quickly slip this on. Thing of beauty, or thing of things. Oy, some of that. And oy, tucked up quite nicely there. No more sleep has been lost to that box. So I'll get on with the back box. These are the style of mounts I'm going to use. I think they're just copy E46 ones, non-M3, because M3 ones are really expensive, but yeah, one this side, one the other, 4 holes in the floor, bolted up, remove these old ones that are a bit ugly, and I suppose I better make a tailpipe. Exhaust is on. Excuse the tailpipe. That's a temporary thing, but there we go. Lovely. Just slid the bumper on quickly to try and get an idea of how long a tailpipe I need. Ow, ow. And it needs to be shorter than that because that looks silly. So I was going to be really fussy about having twin pipes coming out the back of this because it's a 6-cylinder, but no, I'm not. It looks all right. This hole here needs sorting right out anyway, so it's going to be a single exit, and it's probably going to get chopped off. Right there, around there, under the bumper, whatever, as long as it doesn't stink inside the car. Anyway, on to the next thing. Next project I am working on is making new feet for the cage. Been and got some 3mm wall box section. Cut and drilled 2 pieces now for the main hoop. I have to make these bolts captive, or weld some captive nuts inside there. Cap off the end, probably going to gusset it down there to the floor and to the sill there as well, just to make sure as best I can I don't die. Yeah, I've got to do the same at the back and the same down there, but we'll concentrate on the middle first and work our way out. The last evening or so I was working on getting this roll cage up to the roof, which I have now, but still not massively happy with it up there. And luckily after driving home thinking about this, checked Instagram last night, and a nice viewer had got in contact with me, a guy called Jamie from Must Weld Motorsport, and offered to do a new cage for this thing, or at least help me out with the price of a new cage for this thing. So yeah, I've got about 3 weeks. I booked it in with him. I've got about 3 weeks to do the other jobs, and then I'll take it down to Worcester or wherever he is, and he can put the most basic of welding cages in this thing, because I don't really want to make it into a tank, and it doesn't need to be a WRC car, so just a 6-point. So yeah, finding things to do. Time to mount the bumpers, I think. Managed to wrestle the rusty bolts off this carrier. I've got a selection of carriers, but this one still has the clips on the bottom of it, so I shall get the hole saw, cut the disgusting fibre out of this as much as I dare, or as much as I feel like I think is the correct answer. Make it a bit lighter, and then at least the back bumper can go on. I can move on to the front. Special technique. Helps if you got a battery. Hooray! For how much effort that was, for the sake of the 10 grams that I've saved, I can't recommend that's worth it. At least it looks sporty, if nothing else. It's getting late now, so I'm gonna call that tonight. Well, back bumpers on, not much of an achievement, but whatever. Something else off the list. Gonna go home looking like I crashed a speedboat in Miami, I guess, but we'll take it up again next week. Right, back again, another week. Just trying to get the fake Alpina splitter to fit. It's made of fiberglass and it's feels like it's about 1 centimetre thick in places, especially around here on the mountain surface, which I suppose isn't a bad thing, but it stops the bumper from going on. So I've had to whiz out a couple of little bits of clearance and I've just shaved that rail down there. Hopefully some countersink bolts will get this sorted. It's pretty low though. Yeah, and if that doesn't hit the floor, oh, where's the sump? Oh, it's in there. That's about level with the splitter, bonus. Brilliant. Sporty that is. Right, tonight we're onto a miserable job. Since the thing's going in to have a cage welded in, and it'll be going straight to gases for paint after that's done, it's time to remove all this sound deadening. Anyone that's done this knows it's a horrific task. It's not that cold today, I don't have any ice, so it's going to be quite a long process. Better get on with it. I don't want to say it, but it's not actually going too badly. It must be just about cold enough. I mean, I've said it now, so it's going to take me an absolute mission, but quite hard to film and hold the phone, so I'm going to turn some music on and just start hammering and we'll see how we get on.
Oh, watch that.
Danger explosives.
Danger explosives.
I wouldn't normally recommend this. I know you're all sitting there in your pants going, just get some dry ice, it comes off straight away with dry ice, but it's not that available. Well,
is it not?
Well, you go get some now.
Where would you get some from?
I've no idea, so whatever.
Trevor.
Yeah, I'm using a bit of heat, and magic this BMW stuff seems to be loving a bit of heat.
Now, in the interest of health and safety, which I'm in charge of somehow, where's your fire extinguisher?
Over there.
So, if you set something on fire...
What am I going to set on fire?
I don't know.
Nothing's going on fire. Health and safety.
That's when in the video you cut to the photo of the unit across the road on fire.
I wasn't here that day. Look at that, boys and girls. And also, doing it this way leaves a lot less glue to tidy up later.
So what do they reckon?
It shatters basically. If you freeze it, it shatters.
Yeah, yes. But why don't more people use heat? Because it could go on fire.
Well, I used heat on my old 86 years ago and it took me days. It was absolute misery. But this BM stuff seems to be loving a bit of heat, so I'll just carry on doing it this way. Hopefully I won't be here till midnight.
How much more you got to do?
Loads. That bit, this bit, this bit.
Oh, it just all blends in, doesn't it? You don't see it until you start.
That bit. No, I see it. There's no way I'm going to paint over it. That'd just be disgusting.
Disgusting.
Disgusting. Anyway.
And get the 15 in the video.
No one wants that.
Everyone wants that.
No, they don't.
And smash into the Lambo.
Oh yeah, that might go on fire. That'd be a disaster, wouldn't it? If this sheet caught on fire and then that caught on fire. I'd have to push my car out and run away.
Well, you wouldn't have a car to push up. Just run away.
Yeah.
If that's on fire, I think this is gone. And the Mustang's gone.
And my friend's gone.
And Eve's friend's gone.
Yeah, we won't set anything on fire. How about that?
There we go. Elf and safety.
I've made the switch to renewables. Got to keep the children happy somehow, haven't you? Not too bad. I've only it's been about 50 minutes this has taken me to take all this out, so well worth it. Just gave this bit a little bit of a rubber dubber with brake cleaner. It takes the glue straight off, so I'm gonna do the rest and then early tea tonight. Sweet. So much for my early tea. Right, it's been a few days since we last spoke, but today with that irreplaceable trim. ECU's back, which can only mean one thing. We can fire the thing up and see how this new exhaust sounds. Just spent a bit of time finishing off the tailpipe. I've done the back panel and painted it grey because that's the only paint that I had. I need to get some textured finish black stone chip for there, but no, filled the window in, done the tailpipe. Let's plug this in and see how it sounds. Well, here goes nothing. Seems reasonably quiet. Still slow to bring the revs down. I need to maybe have a look at that, but it runs again. I'm going to call that a success. Sweet, car still runs. Exhaust is certainly quiet enough to do track days. So next, since we're about a week away now from getting the cage sorted, it's time to strip out the rest of this interior. Yeah, get this cage out, pop the windscreen out, and next time we'll go and see Jamie and get the cage welded in. Right, welcome back. Things are escalating, shall we say. So last night, whipped the old cage out. If anyone wants to buy that, get in contact. And took the screen out. Oh, hang on 1 minute, phone call. As I was saying, quickly whipped the screen out. It came out just as I suspected. Flicked the spreading piece out, gave it a little wiggle. Out it came in one piece, that's a bonus. Had a little poke round here. Seems there's a little hole to weld up there, and then simply took the dash out so we can get the cage in nicely to the A-posts, and discovered E30 problems. So I'm gonna get a torch in here. You don't need a torch, it's that bad. But yeah, classic E30 business. Round it. Go away, wire. Round the grommet for the wiring loom. So I'm going to chop out as little as possible of that now and try and patch that up tonight. I think that seems like a good thing to do since I didn't know it was a job. Stage 1, stage 2, number 3 is it? 4, somewhere near 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's enough for tonight. Welcome back to another night of joy. Tonight we're going to be fixing these bits. Now, I did phone the dealer, and you can still buy this panel, full scuttle panel, for about 150 quid or 150 quid plus VAT, something like that. Comes stamped with the chassis number on it, but I figured that me unstitching this whole panel all the way down that seam, up there, all the way back down the window frame, I'd probably make more mess than just trying to make some repair pieces for this. So I'm going to try that. If it goes really wrong, backup is the dealer. There we go. After a bit of trimming and tidying up, I've got the 2 easy ones done. They've got weld through primer on them, try and protect the inside as best I can. So there, they're drying. I think I'm going to do those so it feels like I've done something before I get on with trying to make this thing. Now, I haven't cut into the wiper hole or the grill recess, because if I can leave that shape as it is, that saves me an awful lot of work. So I just have to be really careful around here not to blow that edge off, and yeah, we'll hope this works. Anyway, that's the easy ones pidged on. Don't judge my welding, I'm not Craig. Wow, when you're as bad at me as welding, you have to know how to work a grinder. That'll do. Just needs a little nick of filler in that one, and that one quite happy with. You know, the seal's going to sit okay over it, and sweet. Let's see how much time. Well, it's already 7 o'clock. Let's see how much longer I'm going to spend here tonight filling this one in. See if I can at least get the piece cut. Since I have neither the skill or the tools to put this radius in a folded over piece, I've had to do this one in 2 parts, but first piece is in, second one's going to drop in there. I'm going to weld around it really carefully. Carve the radius in with the grinder, sculpt it. That's what I'm going to do, sculpt it. Well, not particularly pretty, but didn't blow any of the corners off, so let's just grind it smooth. That's about as much as I dare grind it. It's not too bad. Little wizard filler. Better than changing the whole panel anyway. Once again, time for tea. Right, welcome back. Start of a new week. Let's show you how this looks after a little bit of a skimmer filler and a quick high build primer before I've sanded it back, but that's acceptable. That's going to do the job. Next job, or the only job I've got left really is, not really, but the only job I've got left before it goes for roll cage is mount my seat, get my driving position right, and then Jamie at Must Weld can position the roll bar to dodge my head. That's the idea. So let's go and get my mock-up seat and get that thing mounted. Right, I'm keen to lose all of this bracket that someone had it mounted on before. It weighs a ton, it's not pretty, so I will try, I think first, bolting the rail straight to the floor and see where that puts me, and then I'm going to see how miserable this week's going to be. That's it roughly in. It's as far back as it'll go, so let's see how short your legs have to be to get this to work. Oh, actually, you know what? Am I in line? Oh, no, I'm not. Let me just work this out. Looking from up here, it seems E30 business, the steering wheel is kicked over to the side, I guess because the driver's seat's further out. Standard. That's going to make things a little bit awkward, isn't it? Right, let's deal with the good news. I am reasonably in line with the steering wheel, which is quite nice. But the pedals are awesome. Whatever. But as you can see, the pedals are quite offset. I can reach some more and everything, but that feels like a stretch. I mean, if I move the seat over though, I'm not going to be in line with the steering wheel, so I need to figure out what I'm going to be, what compromise is going to be best, I suppose. I've done a bit of wiggling. I've got the thing mounted as far down on those mounts as I can. I've got tons of headroom, so you know, that's cool. I just feel like the steering wheel's a bit high now. Might look at dropping the column, although it looks like the BM column's mounted on these snap-off bolts, so got to drill them out, I suppose, or cut a groove in them and unwind them. And I'm going to bring the real Recaro in tomorrow. I've got another couple of rails as well at home. I think I could try, see if one fits a bit better. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Right, here we go again. Simply lower the column. So yeah, I said last night that this thing has snap-off bolts. These ones weren't too bad. You can get a chisel onto them. These two, not so much. So I've ended up having to weld some nuts onto them and wind them out. But now I'm filming, I've got it. I wasn't in the mood to film as I was wrestling them, but it's done now. So I'll quickly, simply just wind those out. Left-handed, obviously. Whatever, and we'll get on with fitting the proper seat. That's the column remounted. See, I've dropped it down slightly, probably 5mm or something from standard. Just get it down a bit like the seat. There we go, the correct seat, except no imitation. SPG is the only seat. I've got it sitting reasonably low, reasonably in line with the steering wheel, and nowhere near in line with the pedals, but that's the pedals fault, so I'm going to call that done. Still need to order a gear lever. That one is a floppy mess, so it needs to either be fixed or go away, and it seems cheaper to make it go away and get a short shifter. Well, not really a short shifter, but a solid mount shifter, so the shifter's mounted to the body. I'm going to order one of those, just because I know somebody's going to ask. There's the Mustang. I haven't forgotten about it. Well, I sort of have. I'll get back onto it and get it out for the spring. I guess that's this for... Next time we're going to go to Must Weld Motorsport and get Jamie to weld a cage in this thing. then straight to gases, hopefully, for a quick interior paint job. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll do it all again next time.